They seemed like the perfect American family. Shanann Watts, a successful businesswoman, her handsome husband Chris, and their two adorable daughters 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old Celeste. Their social media painted a picture of domestic bliss in their beautiful Colorado home. But behind that flawless facade lurked a darkness no one could have imagined. On August 13, 2018, the picture-perfect family image would be shattered forever, revealing the horrifying truth of what happens when the American dream transforms into an American nightmare. On the night of August 13, Shanann returned home around 1:48 am after a business trip to Arizona. Her friend Nicole Atkinson had dropped her off, not knowing it would be the last time she'd see Shanann alive. The doorbell camera captured these final moments as Shanann, 15 weeks pregnant with a boy they planned to name Nico, walked into her home. By morning, the 34-year-old mother and her children would vanish without a trace. What happened in those dark early morning hours would shock an entire nation. The next day, Shanann missed a doctor's appointment. When her concerned friend Nicole couldn't reach her, she called the police. Chris Watts, appearing appropriately distressed, gave interviews to local media pleading for his family's return. "I just want them back," he told reporters, his voice breaking. "I just want them to come back." He theorized they might have gone to a friend's house. Standing on his porch, Chris played the role of desperate husband and father perfectly. But law enforcement was already noticing inconsistencies in his story. As investigators began searching the Watts home, disturbing details emerged. Despite Chris's claims of marital harmony, the couple had been having serious problems. Text messages revealed Shanann had been worried about her marriage falling apart. Financial records showed they were drowning in debt despite their seemingly affluent lifestyle. Most damning of all was the discovery that Chris was having an affair with a coworker named Nicole Kessinger. The picture-perfect family man was living a double life, and the facade was beginning to crack. Just 2 days after reporting them missing, Chris Watts failed a polygraph test. Under mounting pressure from investigators, the truth finally emerged. In a chilling confession, Chris admitted he had murdered Shanann in their bedroom. Then he loaded her body and their still-living daughters into his truck and drove to an oil site where he worked. There, at the remote Anadarko petroleum site, he smothered both Bella and Celeste before disposing of their bodies. He buried Shanann in a shallow grave and stuffed his daughters' bodies into separate oil tanks. The details that emerged during the investigation were beyond horrifying. According to prosecutors, 4-year-old Bella had fought for her life, biting her tongue in the struggle as her father suffocated her. Her last words were reportedly, "Daddy, no." Wearing the same clothes he used to murder his family, Chris went to work as normal that day. He texted his mistress while his family's bodies lay hidden at his worksite. When asked about his motive, investigators discovered a simple, terrible truth. Chris wanted a fresh start with his new girlfriend without the burden of his family. Chris's mistress, Nicole Kessinger, claimed she had no knowledge of his crimes. She told police that Chris had lied to her about being in the final stages of divorce proceedings. When she learned Shanann was pregnant, Nicole said she urged Chris to focus on repairing his family. Phone records showed Kessinger searched online for wedding dresses, and cops traced text messages after the murders. While never implicated in the crimes, Kessinger's role in the case sparked intense public scrutiny. After cooperating with investigators, she disappeared from public view, likely changing her identity. In November 2018, facing overwhelming evidence, Chris Watts pleaded guilty to all charges to avoid the death penalty. The courtroom fell silent as Shannon's father, Frank Arzusek, delivered a heart-wrenching impact statement. "We trusted you to take care of them, not kill them. You monster. You carried them out like trash." When given the chance to speak, Watts offered no explanation for his heinous acts. The judge sentenced him to 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole, calling it perhaps the most inhumane and vicious crime I have handled. Chris Watts was transferred to Dodge Correctional Institution in Wisconsin for his safety. In prison, he reportedly found religion and began corresponding with multiple women who became fascinated with his case. In a later prison interview, Watts finally provided more details about the murders. He claimed he and Shanann had argued about his affair, and in a rage, he strangled her. He maintained that he killed the children because he was in a state of shock and didn't know what to do with them after killing their mother, a claim investigators find dubious at best. The Watts family murders captivated and horrified America, primarily because they confronted us with an unsettling truth. The monster wasn't a stranger lurking in the shadows, but a husband and father hiding in plain sight. Chris and Shannon's social media accounts showed a loving family, yet behind closed doors, a deadly resentment was building. In the aftermath, Shannon's parents fought successfully to have Colorado's laws changed regarding the legal status of unborn children in homicide cases. Their grandson, who would have been named Nico, is now recognized as one of Chris Watts' victims. The case continues to fascinate and disturb true crime followers and psychology experts alike. What makes a man turn on his family so violently? How could someone appear so normal while harboring such darkness? Numerous documentaries, books, and podcasts have attempted to understand Chris Watts' psychology. Was he a narcissistic sociopath who had been hiding his true nature all along? Or did he snap under the pressure of financial problems and the desire for a new life? The answers remain elusive, as Chris Watts has never fully explained the contradictions between his public persona and his monstrous actions. Today, the Watts family home in Frederick, Colorado stands empty, a silent monument to the lives lost there. Shannon's parents keep her memory alive through advocacy work against domestic violence. For those who knew the Watts family, the grief and confusion remain. How could someone annihilate his entire family for a fresh start? The case serves as a chilling reminder that appearances can be deceiving. Behind the most picture-perfect social media posts and suburban facades can lie unimaginable darkness. For Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and unborn baby Nico, justice was served, but the questions about how this tragedy could have been prevented may never be fully answered.